They promised forever. But forever is easy to say when nothing is testing your character. The real truth comes when the door creaks open and something forbidden calls their name. That's when you learn who meant their vows and who only liked the way they sounded. You weren't asking for perfection. You were asking for presence, for integrity, when no one's watching. But they chose the path of least resistance, thinking the moment would be worth more than the bond you built. They didn't just betray you. They betrayed the very version of themselves they claimed to be. And now, the silence you left behind echoes louder in their soul than all the noise temptation ever promised. Loyalty is easy until it's tested. It's easy to say, "I'll never leave," when the skies are clear and the days are warm. Anyone can make promises when nothing threatens to shake the ground beneath them. In the beginning, love feels invincible. Words like forever, always, and no matter what flow effortlessly. But love, like anything real, must be tested. Not by moments of convenience, but by moments of tension, temptation, and doubt. It is in those moments that a person's true character comes to the surface. People rarely think they'll fall. They believe in their strength, in their loyalty, until life asks them to prove it. The problem isn't that temptation exists. It always will. The problem is how people prepare for it, or rather, how they don't. You see, loyalty isn't something that grows in moments of comfort. It's forged in silence, when no one is watching. It's built in the private decisions to protect something sacred, even when other options present themselves. But some people make loyalty a convenience, not a commitment. They mean it until it costs them something. They mean it until it interrupts their curiosity. And when that moment comes, when temptation knocks and the world offers something new, something shiny, something easier, they face a choice. Most betrayals are not sudden. They begin in subtle justifications. It's just a conversation. It doesn't mean anything. I deserve to feel good, don't I? And with each rationalization, a line is crossed. Quietly, carelessly, until they've stepped far enough that turning back feels off. That's when they convince themselves that the bond they built with you was never as strong as it felt. Not because it wasn't, but because admitting that would mean facing the weight of what they just chose to destroy. The truth is, many people don't value loyalty. They value how it makes them look. They enjoy being seen as devoted, committed, trustworthy. But when the performance no longer benefits them, when no one is clapping anymore, they grow restless. That's when you realize their loyalty was performative, not protective. They were more in love with the idea of commitment than the discipline it requires. Yet, what they don't understand is that real loyalty is not a reaction. It's a principle. It's a decision that survives inconvenience, a promise that holds under pressure. The people who love deeply and remain loyal in the face of temptation do not do so because they lack other options. They do it because they see the sacredness of what they've built. They know that what is rare must be guarded, not gambled. And so, when they chose temptation over truth, it wasn't just a mistake. It was a revelation. It showed who was actually invested and who was merely present. It revealed who stood for something deeper than their impulses. You didn't lose someone strong. You lost someone who appeared strong until tested. And that's not your failure to grieve. It's your reason to heal. Let 'em go. Let life show 'em the meaning of the loyalty they took lightly. Because the same world that tempted them away will one day remind them what they left behind. And when that day comes, it won't be your responsibility to soften the blow. Some lessons are not meant to be prevented. They are meant to be lived. Until they understand that loyalty, once broken, doesn't just come back. It has to be rebuilt from the ground up. And not everyone is willing or worthy of doing that work. Temptation doesn't destroy people. Weak foundations do. Temptation is not the villain people make it out to be. It's not an ambush, and it doesn't arrive with chains to drag anyone away. What temptation actually does is offer a choice. It whispers, it entices, but it does not force. What reveals a person's strength or their weakness is how they respond to that whisper. The real issue isn't that temptation appears. The real issue is that some people were never built to withstand it. They didn't prepare for it. They didn't reinforce the foundation of who they claim to be. You can't blame a storm for destroying a house that was never properly built. You can't hold the rain responsible when the roof was already leaking. And in the same way, temptation doesn't destroy love, integrity, or commitment. It simply exposes whether those things were ever truly there. A bond built on convenience, comfort, or momentary passion can't hold up when pressure comes. That kind of connection feels strong until something new, exciting, or unfamiliar comes along. Then, what looked like depth turns out to be a shallow surface. People who fall to temptation often speak about it like it was too strong to resist, like they had no choice. But the truth is, temptation doesn't overpower you. It simply meets you at your level of discipline. If someone falls, it isn't because temptation kicked down their door. It's because the door was already cracked open. It's because they never decided ahead of time who they were going to be. When no one was watching, they made loyalty a preference, not a principle. And preferences change with mood. Principles don't. A person who is rooted in truth, in integrity, doesn't avoid temptation by accident. They avoid it by making daily decisions that align with their values. They recognize that the real enemy isn't the offer itself. It's the desire to escape discomfort, boredom, or routine by stepping into something easier. That desire reveals what they were really looking for in the first place. Not stability, but stimulation. Not loyalty, but novelty. And when you realize that, it stops being about what temptation did, and starts being about what they failed to build within themselves. Weak foundations don't always look weak. That's what makes this so difficult. On the surface, things can appear solid. Words are convincing. Smiles are reassuring. Promises feel real. But when temptation enters the picture, when life shakes the walls, you quickly find out whether what you had was truly grounded. It's painful, yes, but it's also clarifying. Because it shows you that the strength of a relationship or a person is never measured in calm waters. It's measured when the waves come. You didn't lose to temptation. You lost to someone's unprepared heart. Someone who wasn't willing to guard what mattered. Someone who thought commitment was a feeling, not a discipline. And as hard as it is to accept, you were never truly safe in that space. Not because you weren't worthy of it, but because they never did the inner work to hold it. That's not your failure. That's the outcome of their own unchecked. Eventually, life teaches them what temptation costs. Not in loud, dramatic ways, but in quiet moments of reflection. They'll remember what they gave up for something temporary. They'll feel the emptiness where depth used to live. Because temptation is fleeting, but consequences linger, and what was once just a crack in their foundation becomes a reminder of what they could have had, if only they had the strength to protect it. Betrayal begins in the mind, long before it becomes an act.